Okay, welcome everybody to the first official sales meeting. You got it on that computer, on Snelsy. But you gotta know who you're sitting next to. There's a lot of people here. It's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. So you need to find somebody you don't know, say hi. You got 30 seconds, go.
My hand's so
Kiddo's got sick like New Year's Eve, so stay home. So, fingers crossed, knock on wood, not had to deal with that.
Gotta leave.
Happy New Year. We are so excited for our first sales meeting of 2025. This is going to be epic. You're going to have the best year of your entire life in this industry. Why? Because you work for the best real estate company to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and my favorite part, legacies worth leaving.
I love that our mission statement has 2 things to do with work and 3 to do with your life outside of work. That's the goal, to use real estate to make the life you want to live. So every week we do one of our MVPs, and so you'll see these each week, and we'll go into them in more depth each time. Today is the first of sales meeting. It's a whole new format, so we're still putting some of the pieces together, so give us grace as we're learning all the parts, but you're gonna love them, and a goal throughout the whole year is help every realtor sell 1 more home. That is the focus of everything. Does that mean 1 more home a month? 1 more home a year? What does that mean for you? But we're gonna help you hit it. So that's the goal of the sales meetings, and that's the whole format of it. And to do that, you gotta have some good strategic partners. They're no longer vendors. Vendors are people you buy street tacos from. But if you all would like to bring street tacos.
I'm there.
So we've changed the name to strategic partner. We're gonna have a wall up there where you all can put your info, so you can, so that we can know who our strategic partners are. But let's meet who's in the room right now. Let's start right there.
I don't know why everybody laughs when I have to stand up. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name's Bryant Young with Insures the Ozarks, your friendly local insurance agent. In sales meetings past, I have told a dad joke every time. I'm not going to do this year. I am just going to say thank you to all that have allowed us to help you, and please continue to do that. Hey, real quick, do you know the difference between wallpaper and toilet paper?
No.
That's gross.
You know where it was going to go from there. Wait a second. Don't touch the walls in my house.
Derek Cheney, home loan expert with Mid-Missouri Bank. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year's. Ditto to what Bryant said. Yeah, thank you all so much for all the business you've sent our way. We greatly appreciate it. I do want to remind you guys, any clients that you send our way that fill out an application in the month of January, we will actually cover their appraisal fee for them. So if you have anybody that's looking to save a little bit of money on closing costs, let me know.
Let's go, Cole.
All right, good, well, not good morning, good afternoon, I guess. Happy New Year to everyone. Cole Keeling, USA Mortgage. I did want to mention, potentially, and this is probably more than likely, in March, we are going to have USDA eligible for manufactured homes. So that is going to be across the board for pretty much all lenders. That's supposed to take effect in March. That doesn't mean change your listings and tell your buyers that, but that is the date that they are looking towards, that USDA is going to make that change. So that's pretty big.
Very cool. Let's go Dogstone.
Good afternoon, everyone. Carl with Dogstone Home Inspection for all your home inspection needs. Thanks to everyone within the Keller Williams family and in this room that referred us this year for our services. Last year was a phenomenal year for me. Hopefully this year will be even better. To kind of back up what he said, we do offer at Dogstone, we do offer manufactured home permanent foundation certifications. I partnered up with an engineer firm out of state. The best results I've had so far was I turned the reports in at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Had the certifications back by 5 that afternoon, so.
Wow.
Usually within a 24-hour turnaround, but with that comment, something to keep in mind. I'm one of the few around here that's actually doing those, so. Thank you.
Very cool. Kevin?
There, Kevin Kohler, Allstate Insurance, up by property casualty needs. Again, along the line saying a thank you. In the last quarter of last year, helped about 28 families on their home purchases. So very much appreciated on that and helping the clients that we all helped be here. Just did want to remind also our office does give a $20 gift card referral just to refer someone in as a thank you to have the opportunity to quote them, and looking forward to 2025 with everyone. Thank you.
Very cool. Anybody else? Did I miss any? Okay. Oh, I did. Oh my gosh. Yes.
I wasn't wearing purple.
That's it.
That's what it was. Jeff Johnson with U Mortgage. I just wanted to let you know, we're gonna open 2025 in style this year. And if you didn't know, Andrew Chavez is back in town and originating loans, so U Mortgage is gonna go crazy this year.
So if you look at this slide, last year was full of people and it's slowly filling up again. Reminder to any strategic partners, you need to check with Nicole to make sure you get paid for whatever level you want to be on for this year. And if you've given it to her, we're working on it. It's a crazy beginning of the year and the weather didn't help anything either. So make sure you visit with her, make sure you get on the list, and we'd love to have you at the meetings here each time. So each week, our strategic partners give out a culture award to each other. Let's go ahead and see where it's going this time.
Strategic partnering doesn't quite work like Vendy
I
does.
still like
does it?
Bindi, so.
Okay, well, the Vendy was started just kind of as an opportunity for us to get to know each other a little better, but I'm gonna go right back to the best partner I've had as a strategic partner, in our whole program here. Derek sends every person that he can think of our way, so it seems, and I really appreciate him and his speed and partnership dealing with the loans that I've gotten from him. So thanks, buddy.
Hey. Some of our agents and our staff members and our teams, we have a culture award called the Steffes Award, named after Ron Steffes we got up here. Erica, you were the last winner and you've gotten to keep it like 3 weeks.
I know.
to have sales
Thank you,
meetings.
everyone.
So who are you nominating for this week's Steffes Award?
So I wrote it because I sent it to Mike, but I'll just read it here. I was so honored to receive an award that I felt embodied Keller Williams' heart, but I immediately thought of this agent who lives it out every day. They have allowed their passion for success to encompass every single person they touch. They have an attitude of gratitude in every season and have truly taught me, by example, what it means to live a life on purpose for a purpose. This agent pulled me into the Keller Williams family, and I'm proud to give the award to Adam Grady. Thank you for everything you do and how you show up for us every single day.
I haven't got the award back. Appreciate you. Very cool. Another thing we're adding for this year is tell me something good.
Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it.
Yeah. I'm impressed with myself that I was able to figure out how to put a song into a slide. So each week, if you will email or text us things that people have done great, we're gonna try and share it, but also we're gonna open up each day if something, like if you've had a big listing that happened or a big closing, or you've done something great in personal life. So far we haven't had anything emailed to us. What has somebody done good for January so far? Anything yet?
I put makeup on today.
One of our goals this year is to celebrate the agents and celebrate everything that is good. So keep that in mind as we come each week. We will try and recognize people, send it to us early, so we'll have some slides ready. But if something comes up that day, we're gonna make sure and have a crowd participation time too. Onward, do we have any onward people here today? We have Landon.
Yes. So onward, yes. So we are here for you for all the leverage that you need. So we've offered transaction coordination, marketing management, sign running currently, and we're looking to potentially provide some closing gifts in the future as well. Reach out to us. If you don't see something on here that you think you might need leverage with, I would love to just sit down, have a consult and see how we can provide leverage for you. So you all can go out there and do those dollar producing activities, and we can take care of anything else you may need. But we're here for you. Set up a time with me, Megan, Haley, any of us. So that's what we're here for.
Very cool. Okay, so each week we'll have 3 things you should know. You get a ton of emails with info, you get them from us, you get them from the board. We're gonna focus on 3 things each time because actually our brains can't handle much more than 5 at a time anyway. So, number 1, the top 3 GSBR violations in 2024. These 3 accounted for 69% of all total violations. 45 pending to close. This is just us.
This is only Keller Williams.
This is only Keller Williams. New listing, late submission, 43, lead-based paint disclosure, 27. All of those, number 1, fines went down like 90, Joe, was it 97%? Something like that. So from 2023 to 24, fines went way, way down. But these are all things to make sure you have in your listing system or your closeout system. It's simple to do, and that gets it off of there. And most of these aren't a fine immediately. It's like you get a warning and then you got to get it taken care of. But that's the easy thing, right? Just
Yeah, out of our total fines, I think they only were fined $2,000 total out of everything. So these were the top 3. Just wanted to bring it to your attention. That way you know, or your admin TC knows, just to make sure that those are the top ones.
Yep, and you get an email once, when you put in an estimated closing date, you'll get an alert email on that day. So make sure you're using that process. Let's get that down to 0 on each one. That'd be nice. Okay, number 2, have you paid your 2025 dues? If not,
Do this month.
you gotta pay them by January 31st. If you don't by then, is it $570?
It's 575.
575, something like that. Unless you're past president, then it's a little bit different, so
Okay,
not worth what it was worth.
1,000 for you.
Yes. If you don't join by then, from February 1 to February 28th, it is a $50 late fee on top of that. After that, your license is terminated, sent back to the state, and all of your listings go under Jim, and he has a great month. So make sure that you get this done quickly. It's in your email. You just click it. You can pay it right there. I did put this on here too. This will be active January 15th. It's called Forewarn. It's an app that'll go on your phone, and you can punch in any phone number. So if you get a strange call and you're like, should I go show this house? Well, number 1, you should do a strategy session. Okay. But number 2, you can punch this in. It will give you everything on them. Their addresses, vehicles, criminal record. You cannot use this for X's. Okay. You can't use this for creeping on people, but for a safety thing, that is added with no upgrading cost. GSBR very diligently did not want to raise prices this year. Missouri Realtors went up $33, but this got added without adding any cost. It should be live the 15th. It's incredible. So we've had a couple come into our team and we've been able to find out, yeah, that's a legit person, or no, it isn't. So that's coming soon. I just want to point that out.
The important thing about your fees, though, it does not automatically pay. So if your card is set up on auto pay, this does not count. So you have to go in and manually hit pay. So don't trust that your card is going to auto pay your dues for you.
Yep. And
Yay.
Vision Tuesday. This will be our 3rd Vision Tuesday. It used to be Vision Breakfast. Now it'll be sort of Vision Brunch, Vision Lunch. We're working on all the details. So mark it January 28th. More info is coming soon. Everything else is in your emails. Friday, you get one from us. Sunday, you get one from the board. That way we can just go straight through those things real quick and get to one of the most important things at the new sales meeting, the coaching moments with Shanna. Oh, let's welcome Shanna.
Sure that you guys had a wonderful holiday break and you're ready to like smash 25. Yes and yes. Okay, good. All right. So for every week, we're going to have a tiny little coaching moment. So this week is the power of communication, right? Do we all agree that communication is key in this business? The answer is yes. All right. So effective communication is the cornerstone of a successful real estate business. When you're working with co-op agents, your vendor, what do we call them?
Strategic partners.
Strategic partners, co-op agents, co-broke relationships, any of these people, effective communication is the only way to go. It's going to build trust and it's going to reduce misunderstandings later down the road. It's going to also ensure a smooth transaction from start to finish. There's 4 ways, I'm looking up here like I got something up there, I don't. There's 4 ways to establish this. 1 is to set clear expectations. Why is that important? This is where I'm asking for feedback. Why is setting clear expectations important?
So they know what the next steps are and what you're expecting from them and they can expect from you.
Absolutely. It's going to validate or educate their preconceived notions of what they think is going to happen. Super important. Well, how do we do it? It is outlining the process and helping to reinforce the understandings, right? Be detailed with them. They want to know what happens next. If they probably can't find it on Google, okay? You gotta let them know. So through your processes, be detailed and organized. The next one's clarifying questions, to ask clarifying questions. All right, Wes, why do you think asking clarifying questions? I just wanna make sure you're listening, Brett. Why do you think that's important to communication?
I think primarily to ensure that what you're doing or what your client thinks you're doing is understood, and then also in the transaction process. So there's a lot of terminology that we use that a client might not understand, or there's questions a client asks that for us, we might assume it means something in our experiences. So reconfirming that question. So if you were to say, hey, are we selling the house with a home warranty? You know, there's a lot behind that question if a customer's asking you that. Well, potentially, we could be in the contract, but are you paying for it? Is the buyer paying for it? So clarifying those things really allows, you know, when you see that closing statement, no questions, easy
Absolutely, yes, 100%, 110% on that. You ever see somebody nod and follow along like they're listening, but they have no clue what you're saying?
My wife
So
does that a lot to me.
Yeah, I did it to Wes, but I understood everything he was saying, right? So just don't take the nodding as understanding. Ask, rephrase what they're telling you and repeat it back to them to make sure I understood you said this, right? Keeping you guys on the same page. The next one's to be proactive. Oh, friends, do not be reactive. You have to be proactive. You have to, why? Because silence creates doubt. This is not a doctor's office. No news does not mean good news, okay? No news means I have doubt as a client. I have doubt as another agent. Don't leave each other hanging. Be proactive. Give the non-update updates. Those are just as important as, hey, I've got some big news for you one way or another, all right? How? You establish a communication plan. You simply ask during your strategy session or your listing presentation, how do you like to be communicated with? What's your preferred method? And what is the intensity and frequency you want to hear from me? And then surprise and delight and bump it up a notch. And then the final one is to adapt to their style, right? I want to adapt to your style because I want to build rapport with you. When you break rapport, the deal is going to go south very quickly, right? So when I build rapport with you, I'm going to mirror match with you. If you're high energy, I'm high energy. If you're low, I'm going to bring you to me because I don't want to be low, right? So mirror matching and asking the questions along the way, right? That's going to help you build the rapport. And you got to remember everybody processes differently, right? So just because I like something in written form doesn't mean Shane does. Maybe Shane's very much a verbal communicator, but how do I ensure that the communication stays solid? Maybe I'll add another layer of what I like. So if we like to be verbal one-on-one all the time, I'm going to back it up with maybe something written in an email format of, hey, here's a recap. And that is your coaching moment.
The coaching program went crazy last year. It is so big, we kicked him out of this building.
We did. I got kicked out and I didn't lose my job though. So that's the best part.
Yes, so now,
I'm in the Shanix. All right. So Shanix, I made it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Okay. So as you can see, I packed up all my things on one cart and I plugged them in. Come see me. There will be some, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do a little open house, happy hours. So stay tuned for that. Come visit me. Lots of fun things and good smells over there.
Where is this mysterious location? If no one knows.
Right next door to Legal Land and Title.
right across the parking lot.
It's in office 104. So we're in
Yep.
between are they a financial? I'm not gonna say their name because they're not a preferred vendor right now.
Jason Gator and legal.
And then on the other side is Legal Land and Title. So I am quite smack what you get.
Are you doing the coaches?
Yes, I will still be here, but I'm gonna office out of there because we just needed more space.
Got it.
So if you are interested in office space, come talk to me.
And that is purposely why we left her info up here. The coaching program, if you're needing to just partner with somebody, but you're not looking to be on a team, this is the perfect fit because you keep your individuality and you get that partnership. She's done every job on the whole team you can imagine. I sit there next to her until she moved out from away from me. I take notes on what she's telling people. It is that good that I learn every day from her. So the Shanix is going to grow fast. There are some individual offices over there if you need to rent one over there, but I feel that the coaching team is going to build through that route. I mean, how many million did you all sell last year?
We were in the 170 range. The year before we were close to 250. So this year our goal is to exceed 250 transactions.
That is bigger than most brokerages in town right there. It's amazing. So if you need help, yeah. I think it's important we do things legally. So Jim and Don, what do you got for us?
What you got, Don?
What do you got, Jim?
Couple calls I got last week. if a property's in a floodplain and the structure's in a floodplain, call your lender immediately. That's probably the best way to go because you'll get pushback probably from the seller or the listing agent on it. But the lender can typically go, oh, heck no, and then call the insurance company next. And so, because the debt to income could get messed up just with the insurance cost on one of those. And then also, I was reminded again this morning on a big transaction that the final walkthrough is really important because issues are there. And if you don't do a final walkthrough, say your clients can't make it, then you better make it. And you need to make sure and check the final walkthroughs to see that all repairs were done correctly. This house, $900,000 transaction, broken windows are still broken, leaks. I mean, a number of things that are gonna cause the transaction to go south. But you don't wanna go into a $900,000 property and not have that. So, and then in the final walkthrough, then she just wrote up those items, and if they don't get them repaired, taken care of with some additional items by midnight, then the transaction terminates, correct? If it doesn't close by midnight on the day of business when it's supposed to, then it's terminated. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody's not gonna have file litigation at a later date, but it happens.
How many of
That's all
you?
my good news.
Spreads the joy every time. How many of you knew the final walkthrough form changed in early December? So how many of you know there's a new survey inspection timeframe?
I knew that one.
How many of you know there's other changes on the contracts that happened December 4th? A few hands. That is why next sales meeting is all on the contract changes. So we will have hard copies here. Those of you online will have digital copies, but Jim and Don are gonna walk through the major contract changes that happened December 4th, I think it was. Hopefully you've done a contract since then. You saw a couple things on there, but there are some pretty important things that are changed. Next Tuesday sales meeting will cover all those. So make sure you mark your calendar for that. And while you're at it, please don't call people you're not supposed to. Do not get sued. That's not fun. Okay, numbers for this week. I was so pumped when I ran these yesterday. So last Monday, we had I'm gonna go to GSBR, 112 listings and 73 new contracts. Yesterday, 179 new listings, 118 new contracts. Look at that jump in GSBR. And those of you in the north and the east counties, all of yours went up also except for closings in the north. The number of available listings went down 109 over the last week because so many people, we went from 106 to 174, went under contract. True, a lot of expired because of the end of the year, but the buyers are out there and it's starting fast for 2025. Here's comparison to last year. Numbers are pretty similar everywhere. So we're tracking similar to last year. And this is important stuff to know as you're talking to your clients, because a lot of sellers still think it's 2 years ago and it's gonna sell in 2 days. That ain't gonna happen. But if you price it right, it will go quicker. And number of available listings in GSBR, we were at 1871. I chopped this in half because it was getting so long, so you only see like the first half of the year this time. That number's down 109 from last week. Well, hi there. How are you? That's good. But that went down a bunch from last week, partially expires, but partially how many new listings are coming up. Here's what's crazy. Compared to 2022, there are 3 times as many houses to choose from. So it is going to be a great year, and that's our goal, is to help you with that. So our training calendar, January is out. Nicole, did you want to throw some things in on this?
Yes, so welcome to our new 2025 calendar layouts. If you notice, there are a ton of different training that we have coming up. For this month, you'll notice that anything in red is something that is probably not going to come back every single month, or it might not even come back this year. So if you see any classes that are labeled in red, then make sure that you have those on your calendar. The other things is our featured training. Those items will usually be put there as well as any announcements or anything, and then our save the date options as well. If you have questions on any of the calendar, please let me know. We are really trying to make sure that it's structured so that Tuesdays are tech related, Wednesdays are core classes, Thursdays are masterminds or trainings that are facilitated by other agents or ALC members. And then of course on Friday is kind of our miscellaneous. So just be on the lookout for anything fun and great that can help you and your business this year. That is our goal.
Very cool. One of my favorite things on here, and Nicole did mention this, The featured trainings are over here, so if you need to do a quick glance for something of importance, check that. And most importantly, the people who joined our family last month. Bud Aldrich, John Mendelson, Bonnie Douglas, Jolyn Wilson, Ray Kittle, Alexis Kataj. I hope I said the last name right. Let's give a round of applause for them. And if you need a hard copy of these calendars, they're up at the front. They do have the Zoom info on here, so if you're not able to be here in person, you've got the access for that also. Another calendar item real quick. Is this the?
Yeah, Jeff,
Yeah.
why don't you tell them just a
Jeff,
little
real
bit
quick, tell
about
us what's going on.
Yeah, so, I told you Andrew was back in town. We've developed a partnership with Gateway Furniture. Kids started this business, when they were in school at Missouri State, refurbing furniture. They're now frontline distributors for Ashley and a bunch of other people. Anyway, we've got a handful of $1,000 furniture gift cards. The first one, Andrew's gonna do, detailed open house training on all his strategies, plus what he's learned from you mortgage branches around the United States the past 6 months. That's gonna be Friday. It's very limited seating. We don't think we'll have more than room for 40 agents at this. But one of the people that attend this or the Ignite class on Monday, we're doing a dedicated class for them on Monday, same content. Out of that group, we're gonna draw one winner for this $1,000 Gateway Furniture gift card that you can award to one of your buyers so they can buy brand new furniture for your house. So we'll have other prizes, appraisal certificates, golf shirts, stuff like that, but that's the big one. I've got a flyer I'll put up over here. They've got content, register on Eventbrite. That'll hold 25 based on our subscription. If we need to add another one, we will, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be engaging and could be very rewarding too.
So tell all your buyers a week before closing, go out and charge some furniture.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay, the Q1 team meetings are out, so you'll see that we've got these up top also if you need some of them. Today is about Family Reunion launch and our start of our new sales classes, contract updates, awards and honors. We're bringing back the thing where every month we recognize the top achievers of the month. So that'll usually be the third week of each month. Vision Tuesday's coming up. Power sessions. These are some classes that are gonna be taught by, it's called 3612. I think we got a slide on it, maybe. But Colton Moses teaching one, Trey Watson, Carrie Tennis, and Wes Litton, members of our ALC, will be teaching during sales meetings. So you'll get all the info. Everything goes back to helping you sell one more home. So all this is there to help you with that. There it is, lead generation. So there are the idea of this is 36 closed transactions in 12 months with only 3 hours a day. The ones we're focusing on is prospecting with Colton, marketing with Trey, database with Carrie, and lead conversion with Wes. So we're excited that our ALC is in place and already getting things going for this year. Those will be part of sales meetings. And family reunion. This is coming up in 39 days. Okay, real quick though, how many people in here have gone to family reunion before? Wow, at least half of them. Okay, this is a question for anybody who wants to do this. What would you say to someone that's thinking of going to family reunion? Like if somebody's never gone to it, they're like, yeah, what should I do? Those of you that have gone, what is it that's a wow for you?
It will change your business.
A lot of education in one small space. Really good.
I think what's different about family reunion versus mega camp is that it's, you can go to find your specialty and find exactly what it is that you need in your business. With mega camp, it is one large room, constant panels and constant ever changing. This one is basically a ton of masterminds and a ton of panels. So if you're really wanting, help with open houses, there's specific classes just on that. If you really want help on AI, there's specific classes for that. So it's where you can really dial into your levers and what really makes your business move forward and hear from people all over the country.
To Carrie's point, I think there were 200 breakouts last year. And it'll probably be about the same again this year. Who else is gone? Mark, you go every year.
Oh, it changes your world. I mean, you're around the top % of the people that are actually doing a lot of work and doing a lot of volume and they're the best in their fields. And so if you want to get better, you need to be around those people that are actually doing the work instead of around the folks that aren't doing the work.
And you're learn that there's more than Springfield bubble. A lot of us, we do the same thing the same way because we see it over and over and you forget there's other ways of doing things out there. Okay, so our goal for the year is to help everyone sell one more home. Would you agree that going to family reunion could help an agent accomplish this?
100%.
Or one more a week if they go through this right. So here's some of the stuff going on with it. Gary Keller, they've redone Bold totally, and he's actually gonna teach a segment of it at family reunion because it's a whole different format if you've ever gone before, except for Carrie and, no, Elise and Cassie. They've done the new one in Tulsa. It's gonna be totally new stuff. So he's gonna do that. And there's a lot of fun there also. Please play.
Did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody,
Bread Bash is the big party on one of the nights.
Do we get it?
We got it.
So you're gonna learn a ton, you're gonna have a lot of fun. We usually do a group dinner. Last year we had 72 people there from our office.
Well, and I think Dan said he might do that lip sync battle if 5 people signed up today.
Oh,
So-
okay.
I was gonna do 4, but.
Oh.
Here are some of the speakers for CEO Summit. These are all top authors or leaders, not only of real estate, but of the whole industry in general. And 6% of our office has already signed up before Christmas break started. If you see the signs down the wall upstairs, those are people who've signed up. Our goal is to have 20%, which is about what we had last year, of people from Springfield, not just KW people, but everybody, because we know it'll help you sell another house. So we want more agents to go, as we know this will help them sell one more home, and we want to help make it affordable. If you invite a qualifying outside agent, someone not with us right now, we'll provide their family reunion ticket, hotel accommodations, and airfare reimbursement up to $650. Qualifying is 8 transactions in the last 12 months or 3 million in volume. If you help change somebody's life by getting them to come to family reunion with us, and again, this is not a recruiting trip. There are some people going, we know will never join us, but it's gonna change their life. That's why we do this, because we know it will help them, even if they choose not to join us, although usually they go, oh my gosh, this is amazing, look what I was missing. But I'm not gonna meet them at the airport with a pitcher of Kool-Aid and go, here you go. Okay, but when you get somebody to go, because you've helped them change their life, we wanna help you too. So when you get a guest agent to go, you will get a free ticket to family reunion yourself. When you get a second person to go, you get your hotel accommodations paid. So if you can help us get 2 guests to go, all you have to do is get your airfare there, or your drive if you wanna, or your Uber, I guess you could do that. So here's what I'd like you to do. Grab your phone and screenshot this right now, or send it to somebody right now. Who are you thinking of you've done a deal with in the last 30 to 60 days that you know is a good candidate for going? It's gotta be somebody learning-based who's looking for more in their real estate career. I was at our sales meeting today, and you're never gonna believe what happened. They announced the biggest real estate convention in the world is being held in Las Vegas. That's not all. They also said we could invite 1 guest, and I immediately thought, you. Guess what else? They also said they would pay for your entire trip, ticket, hotel, and airfare. So what do you say? Let's go to Vegas. If you will do that, and they say, yeah, I'd like more info, you group text me and Erica, either me or Erica or both, we don't care. We'll help them find out if it's a right fit for them. If you're not sure if they qualify, same thing. We'll look it up and see if they do. Our goal is to help everybody sell one more house. So anything else, Rachel, Shanna, Erica?
I have a really cool way that we're gonna invite some special guests. So if you have someone you've been thinking of in your mind, feel free to grab me after this meeting. I'd love to connect with you and get their information. And we're going to send out some gift baskets and things like that as a even special. Jamie Lima Hearn, thank you, is one of the guest speakers, and she wrote a book called Worthy, and I'm currently reading it right now, but it really is remarkable how much just applicable her words have been just to where we're at in business right now in our industry. Even though she's not in our industry, she's a leader, and she's really breaking barriers. So come connect with me. I think we have some creative ways to help you get to family reunion for free.
And it's gonna be fun and you're gonna learn a lot. So help us get people there, help change their life, and we wanna help change your life too. Okay, we don't need that right now. Sales training. So every week, we're gonna have some kind of focus on something to help you sell one more home. The best way to sell one more home is to keep current deals together, because what's the biggest problem right now? Inspection process and mutual releases. So we're gonna walk through some role playing of some things to set this up that actually ties into Shanna's coaching moment from before. So inspections. How many of you have actually read the whole thing and know exactly what it says? I know Carrie has. She's got it all memorized. We're gonna hit a couple things here. The general part of the inspections. And again, some of this has changed, so make sure you're at the sales training next week. The property is being sold in its present condition with no warranties expressed or implied, except as may be given to the buyer in writing. Conditions of the property that are disclosed or clearly visible should be considered by buyer in setting the purchase price, or by making correction of such conditions by seller a requirement of this contract. In other words, you can't just say, I'm gonna find everything I can on the inspection stuff. Unless waived in writing, buyer may inspect the property or have it inspected by a qualified inspector on buyer's behalf during the inspection period. The cost and availability of insurance should be ascertained during this inspection period too. Do you tell your people to get on it on their insurance the minute they go in their contract? You need to. This including but not limited to homeowners and flood insurance should be ascertained during the inspection period, including but not limited to homeowners and flood insurance. Buyers agree to immediately repair any damage to the property and to indemnify and hold seller harmless from and against all claims, costs, demands, and expenses, including without limitation reasonable attorney fees and court costs resulting from any inspection of or access to the property by or on behalf of buyer, which obligation shall lead in determination of this contract. That is what the inspection is about. It is not, a lot of us just skip through this and go to, well, we're gonna just inspect things and ask for everything. Or we don't set the communication with people. We're skipping property data and inspection reports right now. That's not what we want to talk about today because there's different philosophies on that. But the other thing we run into, did it flip over? Once you get the inspection done, buyer must furnish a copy of the relevant portions of the written inspection report to seller, along with a written list of any unacceptable conditions. What's unacceptable? That depends on how you set it up with your people. Noted therein, within 10 days after the effective date. But if an inspection report indicates a specialist is required for further inspection, the property can get another 5-day extension. Here's the thing I want to point out, resolution period. If this contract is not terminated as provided above by the limitation thing, the party shall have X, usually 10 days after seller's receipt of inspection to reach a written agreement. You don't have 10 days to answer. You have 10 days to get an agreement put together or the contract dies. A lot of people think this is another 10 days, just like up here. It is not. You've got to get it resolved by then or extended. So let's do some things with how we should set this up. So we don't want the inspections to be the thing that kills the contract. So Shannon and I are going to role play a couple things. Here's what I typically do. Hello.
Hi.
Sometimes I'm going to be the client. She's going to be the agent, and vice versa. So this is what I do. If I have a buyer and I'm showing a house and I think, oh, they may be interested in writing an offer. Here's what I do. So this is agent, buying agent, listing agent. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Boy, is that how you answer your phone?
Yeah, because I'm not from KW, so. Hello.
That's right. Hi, is this Shanna?
This is.
I was trying to reach a real estate professional. Is this you?
Oh, it is.
Okay,
It is.
well-
Sorry, I'm just so busy.
I know, it's so much. You need some leverage in your life.
I do need leverage. We should talk more about that later.
Yeah, so
There's a class on
anyway.
Friday.
There's a class Friday.
See how
with Les.
easy that is?
Yeah. So I've got a client who I think is interested in your house at 123 Main Street.
Great, sell it.
Okay, we will. So we're probably gonna put an offer together, but I want to check a couple things with you first.
Mhm.
Number one, I know earnest money, some people love it, some people hate it. What's your feeling on earnest money?
I'd really like some. I'd
Okay.
really like some. Probably about $2,000 worth. That would
Okay.
make me feel good.
Okay, sounds great. Do you have preliminary title or going with a title company
Oh my
somewhere?
gosh, no. I should probably start doing that.
Okay, so it's okay if we put whatever title company we need to on there?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, is there a closing date that works best for your people?
You know what? I need about 45 days.
Okay, so if we can go into middle of next month, that's
That
probably
would
better.
be ideal.
That would be more appealing too.
Mhm,
Okay,
yes.
and most important question, how much are they offering for compensation to a buyer's agent?
We are offering 4%.
Okay, I'll need to redo some paperwork real quick.
Well, I hope so. Hope
So-
we follow the NAR rules.
That's right. Okay, if you do not have a conversation with the agent ahead of time, and if you're just texting and emailing documents, you're setting it up for some trouble from the beginning. I always like to ask the things that are kind of throwaway things to me. Are certain title companies I prefer, but if they already have one they want, and that's gonna be the difference in my offer being accepted, I'm gonna go that way. Closing date, if it's flexible for my people, I'm gonna try and make it work for them. I wanna get as many things to be a win for that side, so that I can get the wins on the thing I want.
Absolutely.
So already we've set up conversation between the two agents. So they're not just getting an offer in their email and not even being notified it's there.
Absolutely. And I always like to send my offer with a little bullet point of here's the details of the offer. Not trying to leave anything out and not
Yeah.
trying to get crazy with it, but and I always finish with, and I look forward to connecting with you. I also never send anything through DocuSign or Dotloop. That's a me thing, and I hope it's a you thing too, because I can't stand reading out of a system that I don't have any access to. So
So you make it into a PDF.
PDF,
Okay.
just, it sets the tone for good expectations and good communication. Huh, funny, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I know some agents that will just forward their stuff straight over to me. Guess what? I've got their clients' email addresses, so I can start nurturing them once they sell the house. Okay?
Orphan buyers.
Yes.
I did not hear that.
Well, once the contract's done, they're no longer employed.
That's right.
Oh,
Okay, so we're now in, we've gotten accepted. She loved my terms because I did 45 days. I gave her earnest money. We did all the things. So now we're going back in time. I forgot, am I the seller or the agent on this one?
You're the agent on this one.
Okay, so I'm talking to the seller beforehand. I say, okay, so we've gone through everything here. I want to let you know there's two different negotiations that are going to go on. First, they're going to send us a price, and then there's going to be some inspections, and the buyers have access and permission to do any inspections they want. And they may come and ask for some things at that point.
Really? I
Yes.
mean, my house is clean. Everything's perfect.
I know it is, but
Hmm.
so their inspector's gonna come through and make it look like they're gonna try and find all different things wrong. They're mainly looking for major issues because older houses, there's something wrong with them.
I'm not
sometimes.
fixing toilet seats, Mike. I already
Well-
told you that.
Well, and we don't know if we have to.
Okay.
I just like you to know ahead of time that that's part two of what's gonna go on. We're gonna get a form, and you're gonna get mad as you look at it probably. So we're gonna look through it together and walk through the major things. When you see this 70-page report, you're not gonna have to do everything on there.
Okay.
Only anything they ask for. So don't look at that report and start fixing things. We're gonna walk through and see what things we need to fix. And the way I look at it, what things would I fix if I'm staying here in the house?
Okay.
So, because, if they're gonna ask for it, somebody else is probably going to also.
Okay.
So I just wanted to set that ahead of time, so you know what's gonna go on and where we're gonna be on that. And that we'll have a certain amount of time to get through there and do what we need to on it.
How much is it gonna cost?
The inspections don't cost you anything.
Oh, it's first time. Okay. I feel like I'm just paying for everything.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. So, the one thing though, if they send a certain form, we may be asked to uncover your septic tank. We don't have to unless they send a certain
Mike, I don't
form.
have a septic tank. What are you talking about?
Well, I should have done a better job of looking at your house there. Okay, so you set your seller up before an offer even comes in. You want them to know, this is what's gonna happen. This is my favorite phrase, here's what happens next. You gotta let them know what's gonna happen next. Okay,
Good communication.
now I'm a buyer, you're my agent.
All right, so, hey, Mike, how are we feeling today?
We're great. I'm so excited to go buy a
I'm
house.
so excited. I'm so excited as well. All right, so I just want you to know what happens next. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to time out. Are we under contract?
No, we're,
Reviewing?
I don't remember where we are.
Writing the offer.
We're writing the
We're writing the
offer.
offer.
Thank you, sir. All right, I just had to make sure I'm in the right film here. All right, so I'm so excited. We love this house. There's a few things I need to kind of go over with you.
Okay.
We talked about these during our strategy session. However, it's really important that I re-bring it up again.
Okay,
All right, so one thing, we're gonna hire on an amazing inspector. This inspector's job is to literally rip this house apart. I wanna know everything I can see and everything I can't see. And there's going to be a ton of information. Do not be alarmed. All right, repeat
Okay.
with me. Do not be alarmed.
do not be alarmed.
Do not be alarmed. All right.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen is I'm going to get this report at the exact same time you are. I need a little bit of time to go through it, digest it, and understand where are the non-negotiable issues? At this
Okay.
time, I want you to read through it just casually, all right? And then we're gonna set up a time the day after.
Mhm.
We're gonna sit down and we're gonna go through all your non-negotiables and all the ones that I've picked out. Because I wanna go through this with a fine tooth comb to make sure I'm not leaving anything behind.
Yeah, but if there's things wrong in this, don't I want to get them all fixed?
Well, not necessarily. So if you remember during our strategy session, we talked about new construction homes versus a sold home, a resale home.
Okay.
So not everything's gonna be perfect. Just like when we were searching for the house, we knew that we were looking for like a 7 out of 10. We weren't looking for a 10 out of 10. So what we're looking for is health and safety issues. We're not looking for caulking. We're not looking to have toilet seats tightened. Those are just maintenance issues. What we're looking for is that
Okay.
roof that's leaking, that hot water heater that does not heat the water properly, a broken HVAC system, things that could cost you big bucks later down the road. So that's what we're looking for.
Okay, so before we put this offer in place, I need to take a good look at the
Yes,
house.
absolutely.
So I know everything I'm looking at.
Yeah, because if there's something major, let's put it in the offer on the front side. If it's something we can see, like when I'm walking up these stairs and I can feel that handrail's loose. If that's something that's important to you, we need to put that in the offer immediately.
Okay. But if it's, but like the handrail, like if my uncle can fix it.
Absolutely, right?
Okay.
So, do you see what I'm saying?
So I need to focus on the things that are huge. It could be an issue down the
Health
road.
and safety issues. Those
Okay.
are the ones that'll cost you problems later down the road, right? This is a basement home, so something we're gonna look for is a radon gas, right? And I'm gonna teach you all about what all that means when those reports come in.
Radon.
I
I'm
know, I
scared.
know. Don't be scared.
Okay.
Radon's in the earth. It's fine.
Oh.
There's ways to mitigate that issue.
So I put my house under 4.0 people theories.
Well, look at, he knows.
Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm a little scared of the house now.
Well, this is a major commitment. This
Uh-huh.
is the biggest, one of the biggest investments you
Yeah.
will make in your lifetime. So I want to make sure that we feel comfortable and confident in it, which is why we're getting an inspection.
Okay, and so the seller pays for all that, correct?
You're gonna pay for the inspections. It's going to be part of your closing costs.
Oh,
all right?
that sheet you gave me with all the
Yes,
costs. at the
yes,
beginning.
yes. So
Okay,
remember, you're gonna have those inspections. Lucky for you, we just have the basement. There's no pool, there's no well, there's no septic. It's a pretty standard
Okay.
home inspection. And I've got a list of my favorite home inspectors here that you get to choose from.
okay,
And then we're going to go ahead and get this set up and go, and it's gonna be wonderful. And Mike, if there's some non-negotiables, if this house is no good, we're gonna work ourselves out of it.
okay.
Okay?
So on that inspection day, can I follow him around and watch everything he's looking
No,
at?
no. Mike, okay, again, we've talked about this. All right, what we're gonna do is, what we are gonna do is go at the very end of the inspection, his last 30 minutes, because I don't wanna interrupt him because he may miss something.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
If
so
I'm
if he's-
distracting him.
Yep, asking
Okay.
questions. So what I want you to do is we're gonna take another look at the house because I know you're dying to get back in there.
Oh, man, yeah.
And we're gonna measure the fridge and see where the couch goes and all that great stuff.
Okay,
And then at the very end of the inspection, we're gonna talk to our inspector, see if there's any big red flags.
okay,
He's gonna mock up his report and then he's gonna get it out to us. Remember, at the same time, and I need time to process this and I wanna make sure I'm giving you sound advice.
so we should probably get together and look through it
Yeah,
together.
we'll get
Okay.
we'll get together tomorrow and go through it.
Okay, so then everything I send over, the seller's just gonna fix it.
Not necessarily, that's another round of negotiations.
Okay, so we need to ask for things, since they did come down on price some, we gotta be kind of
Right,
balanced there.
so when we were negotiating on the front side, we kind of talked about how if we're gonna go in a little bit lower, we can't really ask for the moon on the other side of it. Right,
Got it,
'Cause
okay.
we're trying to get you the best house for the best price.
Okay,
All
cool,
right, and we're gonna make sure that it's safe and it's gonna be a great investment for you.
awesome, okay, okay.
He don't
I
listen.
don't. I'm playing the typical buyer. As you can see from the coaching moment, it's all communication. If you're doing everything through a text and through an email and just sending documents, you're setting yourself up for a mutual release to happen. Okay, now it's agent to agent. I forgot, am I the buyer agent?
Yeah,
Seller
you be
agent?
that
Okay.
buyer agent.
Hey, Shanna,
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Well,
How's
hey,
it showing?
it's good. We got done with the inspection. And so I'm getting ready to put it all together for you. I want to ask a couple questions on you though, because I know everybody has a different feeling here.
Yeah, okay.
We've got a few things we're gonna ask for. Do you want me to go ahead and get bids so that I know what they are and give those to you? What's your preference on that?
Oh, gosh, you know what? I tell you what, I actually have a handful of allied resources that I really like to use. So if you just want to get me over your requests, I would like to prefer to get those bids myself.
Okay, so,
I know a lot of buyer agents like to do those bids on their own, and that's great, but I'm gonna end up doing the same thing. So
Okay, but we could, if that way we could have
If
comparison
you were more
contrast.
comfortable with that, absolutely. I just don't want you to do any extra work you don't have to.
Got it. You already got a team in place for that.
I do.
Okay, there's nothing huge and major.
Oh.
There's just, you know, a roof and a foundation crack. So, okay, well, I just want to make sure before I did that and got that to you, because I wanted to make sure on that, so.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you. Try to show you some of the things that you're gonna see that you solve a problem if you have a conversation with somebody. What are the things that some of you do that are good and bad have helped you through because these are tense right now. 2 years ago in inspection, what's that? Which means in 5 years, when those people start selling their houses, we're in for some scary stuff. But what other things do you do with the conversation side? Adam?
I like the open-ended questions. So if I'm calling to write an offer on your property, I'm just gonna call and ask you what's important to your seller. Right? And just leave it, because you're gonna go right there, instead of asking you the leading questions. Because I might miss something that actually is really important.
Okay.
So I want to give you some time to reflect on that and then answer the question, right? I can always ask follow-up questions, but I'm gonna start with what's important to your seller.
You're gonna start open-ended.
The next thing I'm gonna do is back you in a quarter by asking you, how'd you come up with this price? I'm sure it's Highland Springs for $400,000, right? Like, I'm gonna make you defend your price regardless.
Okay.
So even if I think it's a steal, I'm still gonna ask you. Because oftentimes, you're gonna tell me the seller came up with the price and that you didn't agree with it.
Aha. Can you tell the story? Because you had one where you got a huge discount just by asking a question. Was that a couple years ago? Does that ring a bell?
I had one recently where I asked them what was important about the offer by the buyer. And she said, oh, the client grew up in the neighborhood. His family lives in the neighborhood. They've been looking in this neighborhood for 6 months and nothing else has come up. And I'm like, obviously I'm counting your full price. Right? But it's just asking that question about, hey, what's important here? You know, hey, they're really concerned about timeline to get their kid into school. Like, I would like to know that, right? And then maybe if we can give them their timeline, it can go back on price.
I love
But
those.
it's asking those really open-ended questions.
What else?
Now with the agency agreement, you can ask if they have any other offers and what are the terms and are they allowed to share the terms? And so just by even asking, are there any terms that you can share with me? You'll be able to hear a lot of that information from the agent if they're willing to share that.
I think the most important thing is just don't be afraid to ask. Because like I just had one that I wrote that they wrote as is, seller will do no repairs. I mean, it was all over the listing, super hardcore. And when I walked on the property, I knew the roof wasn't gonna pass anybody's insurance. So I just called the agent and I said, I'm gonna write you an offer, but not without them putting a roof on it. And so just let me know if that's worth it or not. And they had me write it. We got the deal done, putting the roof on an as-is house. So.
Don't believe what you see in writing.
And don't be afraid to ask, because you might get it.
I had one that was an as-is once. They said they're not doing any repairs. So I called them. I said, hey, I know it's an as-is, but we've got a couple things we want to ask you. Want me to just go ahead and send a mutual release? I'm like, oh no, I want to see what has to be fixed. But it's a conversation and a relationship with people. And I think starting from the very beginning, both with your clients and with other agents, gets you farther down the road.
Well,
I was just gonna say, with all the fall throughs, be sure and ask the other agent if they have a copy of an inspection report they can share. Because once that's shared, once the buyer gives it to the seller, then the seller owns it. So now the seller has possession, 9/10 of the law, the seller can share it. And I really think that's gonna be a big deal because I've seen all over the internet last few days about disclosures, you know, you're doing this illegally and you're doing that illegally, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the deal is that, you know, if there is something material in there, if it says, you know, the roof has hail damage and needs to be replaced, but you should get a third party to inspect it, you probably know it needs to be replaced. You should know that up front. Can't tell it from the ground. You better not be able to.
Harry, then Don, or Dan.
I was gonna say, also, when you're doing those when you're showing a home to a buyer, it's your job to be looking for things that need to be fixed too, and to be having those conversations then. Don't just get caught up in the emotion of just showing a house and all the shiny things, because if you can see it, then it's not a latent defect. So, just setting the expectation from the start too.
The old contracts, part A, part B. Dan.
This wasn't so much in what the question was, but if we were talking about helping to sell one more house, part of that is bulletproofing the transaction. One of the important things on that is when we're talking about the inspection period, understanding that our sellers, I predominantly represent sellers, understanding that
even though they may not choose to make the repairs as requested, there are potential things that they're gonna have to modify the seller's disclosure statement on or repair. We also, as agents, have the same obligation to disclose if we, as an example, because Jim and I just got one yesterday, if there's an example of a home and we got an inspection report and there was a termite report and there were termites or termite damage or activity noted, or et cetera, we have to disclose that. Even if the seller's like, I'm not putting it on paper, we have an obligation to disclose that if it's something that would be prudent that we keep terms providing. My point is this, sometimes the offer they have in place may be the best one for them. And if we know that and understand that, and that's the barrier, we still have to share that with them and give them our advice that it may be best to take this and fix that, because we're still going to have to either fix that or disclose it.
All right, last one right here.
Well, I just want simple question for everybody. So you've got a seller, you've had an inspection, and he knows, he, she, they, it, them, know that there's issues with the property that are real material issues that should be repaired, and they refuse to disclose. So what should you do?
The listing.
Well, encourage them to seek opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't represent them. Because it's gonna come back, maybe 5 years later, right, Dan?
5 years to the month later.
I would encourage that. I've had to fire people before. It's not a big deal. You know, if they won't do it, if you explain to them, you have legally, you're responsible. That's part of your MIREC rules and statutes, is that if you know something, then the public should know something.
Yep. All right, the Ignite starts at 1, so we're gonna go ahead and finish up. Remember, next week, contract updates, we'll have hard copies and digital, and we want to take you to family reunion. Think of who you can text that message to or call them today. Thank you all. Have a great day.